Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
And we're at Andertons.co.uk here this fine, warm, sunny day to bring you the excellence of the Victory V30.
This is the latest amplifier in the Victory range, inspired by Mr. Guthrie Govern's request to have an amplifier that he could fly around the world with and take wherever he was with hand luggage.
Yes, if you press this button here,
yes,
it sprouts wings, and you can, like a pigeon, you can send it to the owner.
That's phenomenal. I've never seen that feature before.
Can't do that at all.
And I believe that actually the starting point on the design board for this amplifier, and this is one of these urban myths, feel free to spread, was actually the hand luggage dimensions for an EasyJet flight.
Wow.
So it was like, that's it. Doesn't really matter. You know, that's kind of what it's got to be. So this is a 2-channel amplifier, foot switchable 2-channel amplifier with a clean and a gain overdrive, a shared 3-band EQ, and a separate volume for the clean and the overdrive channel. Has an effects loop. It runs off of 2 EL34s and 4 12AX7s. The original version of this was what's called a cathode biased amplifier. That's where essentially there's a little component in the amplifier that adjusts the voltage going through the valves to match to whatever the correct bias of the valves is. But one of the downsides of using a circuit like that is you can't get as much output out of the amplifier. So one of the bits of feedback I believe went to Victory from Guthrie was actually the amp was great size, sounded great, but wasn't quite loud enough. So slightly misleading name now, although it's called the V30, it's actually closer to being a 40-watt amplifier.
Oh, really?
In its full high mode, and it's unbelievably loud.
It is loud.
So it has some clever switching to enable people to use this in a number of different scenarios. Low mode drops it down to about 15 watts. And then what you can do on the back of the amp is switch the pair of EL34s down to just use one of them.
That's cool.
And I believe that drops the whole thing down to about 2 watts.
Wow.
In its sort of low mode. So there's various different sort of modes that you can have this in. Go and check the Andertons website or the Victory website for the spec. What I thought was kind of cool as well, this is classic sort of Martin Kidd OCD.
Yeah.
The switch on the back to drop it down to one valve.
Yes.
You can either choose the left-hand valve or the right-hand valve. And apparently the reason for that is if the switch only ever let you use one valve, it would wear out faster. So the idea is kind of, if that's how you use it, you should sort of alternate every week or so between one valve and the other, and then your 2 valves will wear out simultaneously. Yeah. So really there's not a lot to tell you about this, other than, unlike every other amplifier in the Victory range at the moment, this is designed internally using a printed circuit board. So it's still made in the UK, still all premium components, but now for speed, the board arrives on a sort of a printed circuit board.
So every other Victory amplifier isn't like that?
Every other Victory amplifier is hand-wired, you know, as kind of traditional, what's called turret board stuff. Yeah, including Rob's Silverback. But of course, as I'm sure you're aware, the amount of time it takes to hand-wire an amp in the UK just means that, you know, you add hundreds of pounds onto the cost.
Yeah.
So this is, by some distance, the cheapest amplifier in the Victory range. You should go to the Andertons website and you'll see all the pricing. But I think you'll be impressed.
Yes. I just wanted to know how much now.
Okay. £799.
Wow, that's really good.
And it comes in one of those kind of like duffel bag type, you know, shoulder bag, padded gig bag.
Should we tell them or should we not tell them?
Of course, it's $7.99 in English money and something else in other money.
Quick guide, 2 channels, no boosts.
No boost.
But it has an effects loop?
Has an effects loop, which you are hearing because we have a TC Hall of Fame reverb unit on the floor because there is no internal
Let's
reverb.
show them how much reverb we've got.
Okay.
Oh, well, let's turn it on as well, though. 3, 4.
It's a little bit. But you can have more if you want.
I'm happy with that.
Okay, cool. So, Rob's going to play with the Strat. I'm going to play with the Les Paul. Rabeer's going to play with something more contemporary.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and cover the blues. Rob's going to try and do the rock. And Rabeer's going to... Apparently, Rabeer says he's better than Guthrie Govan, so he's going to do all that sort of faster stuff. And I gather, obviously, if you want to see a really good guitarist playing this amplifier, you can, of course, dive onto YouTube and look for anything that Guthrie's done. Where I think when he's touring with the Aristocrats, and they're doing the sort of the mainland European gigs, he's got the big V30. But wherever it's a slightly more far-flung gig, and they've had to fly just to do like one date, he takes this. So
yes, I must admit it's rather intimidating being on the artist roster with Guthrie Govan. You couldn't have much more of a flagship entity playing a brand.
He's
like,
quite good, apparently. If you're not familiar with his work,
not just quite good,
he
is ridiculously good,
yes.
and he's a lovely guy too.
Yes. Anyway,
this is a Fender
without
Strat.
further ado. The clean sounds that Rob was just playing, it's a good time for me to sort of say that the V30 is EL34 loaded. I guess if you ask 10 guitar players, what's their favourite output tube, 5 will say EL34s and 5 will say
KT87s.
Or and you'll get the odd one like that. From what I understand, Martin has designed this so that there's just you can take either 34s or 6L6s, and there's a switch on the back that. I think Martin described this as kind of, if you switch it over to 6L6s, it chucks the bias into the sort of the right ballpark for a 6L6. But what you really should still do is go and get a proper amp tech to tune it in.
He's a clever, shreddy dude.
Yeah, clever dude.
That's nice. That is a lovely, lovely sound. Did you know, Lee, I found on YouTube recently that a guy, and I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, but he'd made a Rob Chapman or Rob Chappers style backing track.
Oh, really?
For people to play along to. It had 40,000 views.
Never.
And it was. I thought that was brilliant. It was really cool.
What you mean is he's ripped off one of your tunes, put it online as a backing track, and now making money out of it.
I wasn't saying it like that. No, I thought it was really cool that he'd done that, and he'd got it down pretty good. So there, this is a great app. I'm just curious to see.
Stratty rock. It's
not
awesome.
A lot of people will know that I played a Strat for about 3 years in a band. Nothing but Strats, and had a real problem getting away from Strats. I just want to hear it with a bit of a high gain.
Can you Malmsteen out for me?
Well, I don't know about Malmsteening out, but I just want to hear what it's like.
Okay.
Low volume. mate.
Do that bit. What we're going to do now is, hopefully, I'm not sure how well this will come across on YouTube, but we're going to show you the kind of how the sort of how the volume drops.
Yeah.
So we're not going to compensate for the volume that you're hearing on YouTube. So it's going to start off at sort of normal YouTube volume, and then it's going to get quieter.
So
and
what he's saying is, if it's really quiet, we're doing it intentionally.
Yeah, intentionally. So on a drive sound, this is with it on its high mode with the volume at number 4. This is gigging volume.
This is half the gain though, so
Yeah.
this isn't really gaining.
Okay, that's very loud, proper gigging volume. So now if we drop it to low mode, now that's the kind of volume level that we would normally shoot videos at. So
Yeah.
louder than you would use it at home, but like a studio-y type
Yeah.
volume, isn't it?
Loud conversation volume level.
So if I now switch this on the back, it's a recessed switch, so you won't ever do this accidentally. Okay, we're now using one of the output tubes. So here we go.
Just a different kind of gain sound, really.
Yeah, it's not that much quieter, is it? So I guess, and if we now were to sort of say, right, I want to play at home, so I'm going to drop the volume down. So,
That's quiet.
And that's kind of bedroomy volume.
That's quiet. Your wife isn't going to be annoyed quiet.
Good little run through there. Thanks to Rob for making that Strat sound. Hurrah! Yay, Rob! Yay, Rob! Yay, Rob!
Well, I've been Rob Chappers.
And I've been the captain.
This has been the V30 from Victory Amplification.
Hope you liked it. If you want to find out more, check out the Andertons website or go to victoryamps.something. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.